Hey guys, Righteous Rama here. How you guys doing? Come on in. Haven't done a live on here in forever. As you can tell, the topic is about fatherlessness in the Black community and church attendance. And do we use church attendance as a cop out for irresponsible fathers? So before we get really, started with my talk, I would like to just share with you all some statistics that I saw on fatherlessness. Now, of course, I'm not saying that only Black people have fatherless sons. We know that everybody has this issue going on. But I'm talking about my race because clearly I am African American Black girl. So I'm going to talk about what's affecting my community. I cannot speak for every other race, but I'm going to talk about the father absence crisis in America. And is church doing enough? Is it enough to go to church? Is it enough to go in church and pay your tithes? Is it enough to shout and pay your offerings? Is it going to do enough? Is it going to do enough? Okay. So I think right now I'm going to share this video to my Facebook page. Can y'all still see me on here? Okay, maybe not. All right, so keep going. So statistics on fatherlessness in America. If you come from a fatherless home, you're 4 times more likely to be at risk for poverty. You are more likely to have behavioral problems. You are twice as likely, the mother is twice as likely to have infant mortality, to have a child die in infancy. You're more likely to go to prison. You're more likely to commit crimes. You're 7 times more likely to be a teenage mother. And they're usually talking about unwed teenage mothers. You're more likely to face abuse and neglect. I heard 120% more likely. You're more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. You're twice as likely to be obese. And we know a lot of those health things come with that, like diabetes and heart disease and things like that. High blood pressure. You are twice as likely to drop out of high school if you come from a fatherless home. Now, I read another article before I got on here that said that about 8 out of 10 African Americans identify as Christians, and 53% of African Americans claim to be a member of a church, of a Protestant church. Protestant meaning not Catholic church. And what's amazing to me is that we can be so churched, and yet we can be so at risk for these statistics, because they say 70% of 70% of African American children come from single parent homes. Now, that doesn't mean their dads aren't around. That doesn't mean their dads don't see them or anything. They're just saying that they're not married or whatever. But that still has an effect on the children, obviously. Let me read another article. Okay, let's go on. Rape. 80% of rapists with anger problems come from fatherless homes, which is 14 times the average. So rape is associated with fatherlessness. 85% of all children who show behavior disorders come from a fatherless home. 90% of all youth runaways. A lot of youth that run away go to join gangs and sell drugs and prostitution and sex trafficking, end up getting killed, and delinquency and crime. 63% of youth suicides come from fatherless homes. So what this shows us, you all, is that sometimes we can't just keep shouting and tithing when our communities are going down. We need to get involved. We need to talk to these fathers, these young ladies who are sleeping with these men. And we need to have a conversation, y'all. We need to have a conversation, y'all. This is the problem. We say Black girls rock and Black girl magic, all this stuff, but our children are suffering in these fatherless homes. Now, I'm not saying no other race has fatherless homes. I'm not saying that. I'm gonna show y'all this statistic here. This is children. This is the National Center for Fathering, the extent of fatherlessness, the National Center for Fathering. So the red represents the white children, the green is the Hispanic children, and the blue is the African American children. We see that the fatherless homes are far represented more in blue, which represents African American, which is interesting because we're 13% of the population. So the statistics should not be that high because we're a disproportionate number of the population. And so a lot of those statistics that I read, you all, my phone's so dirty, it applies to us. We go to church and we shout, 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 but we're in trouble, y'all. We're in trouble. So you all, we need to do something. We need to say something. And you all just really just, share your opinions, share your ideas. But something has to happen. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.